letting society tell you about the best skincare routines, the hottest plastic surgeons, or the cream that will keep your skin from aging. It's time we start asking ourselves, what the fuck is beauty anyway? If we remove all the IG filters, is there more to a beautiful face than just skincare? Well, I'm here to share it with you, and hell yeah, there is. My name is Jen Carrasco. I have been an esthetician, as well as a high-level fitness competitor, and an all-around badass for over a decade. And I need you to know there is way more to keeping your mind and body clean than just a cream. Join me each week as I cut the BS out of getting healthy, caring for ourselves, and caring for our skin. I share real tips, real ingredients, and real experience. Now let's get some answers on what the fuck is beauty anyway. Hey guys, it's Jen. So today we are going to go on another topic. I know last time we talked a little bit about social media and pretty much what the fuck social media is with beauty, or what beauty stands for with social media. But today we are going to break down a little bit more about what are the idealistic quotas of beauty. And so I have one of my greatest friends, Carly, with me today, and she's going to help and talk with me about it. So if you ever see a lot of my photos on Insta or Facebook, this is the girl behind it. She is the one who does amazing photography. So her alone, I felt like having her on the show today to talk about beauty is great because she deals with all types of beauty in her industry and what she deals with clients. So we're going to just break it down a little bit. So Carly, to you, breaking down the ideals of beauty, what to you do you feel like beauty is?
Hey guys, I think beauty is something that stems from the inside out. I think the things that social media or society calls imperfections are the things that actually make us beautiful. So things like freckles, gap teeth, the friend that snorts when she laughs.
Or farts.
or just does weird shit all the time. I think those are the things that make us unique, and then the very things that also make us beautiful. So yeah, I think beauty comes really from the inside out when someone's not afraid to be who they are, authentic, and just really lives in their own skin.
So living in their own skin, meaning when you are doing photography, I know, like within myself, what I've noticed from doing photography is a lot of times in the beginning, I'm hesitant about, okay, do I strike a pose? What do I do? But I notice, like, when I start getting my pictures back for social media, that the ones that I'm like not giving a fuck about and I'm laughing hysterically or I'm acting like an idiot, those are like the best captions. Like, those are the best pictures that come out. And so I think that's telling society and everything else that just being yourself is fucking beautiful. Like, to laugh and snort at the same time because that's who you are, that's beautiful. To have a flaw or have a birthmark, or you said have a gap in your teeth. Like, you know how many sexy ass women are models that have their gap in their teeth? And I think to myself, you're fucking hot. Like, I want to look like that. And that inspires the women, I think, that are not perfect by any means. And this is the thing, is that, you know, when people meet me, and I don't even want to say me, but like as somebody who's like a physical, like an athlete, or somebody who, you know, you check out their social media because they have abs on point or they have this on point. But when you meet that person, it's like, oh shit, you're an actual real person. Like, you do have a little bit of cellulite. You're not perfect. Yeah. Like, yesterday was Thanksgiving and I decided to eat like 24 dozen cookies, and I did. And I feel like shit today. So it's that beauty is, I think, from what you're getting, is it's stemming from who you are.
Right. It's not being afraid to be vulnerable.
Exactly.
I think that's when you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you allow yourself to be seen for who you are.
Yeah. And I think, like, we talked about social media last week, and I guess I'm really glad that we're doing this again, because I feel like it's kind of revamping a different aspect of what we were talking. But even on social media, like, I truly admire listening to the people that I look up to, when I look at their storyline or their feed or whatever they're doing, and they're being real and they're saying, hey, I'm having a fucking shitty day. I'm not perfect, or I ate this, or I did this, or whatever their flaw is, and they're pointing that out.
Right.
I think that is huge for us, because we all have this misconception of what, especially I think as females, I can't speak for males because maybe some males do have that where they have to be a certain way. But I think it's more of females feel like they have to look and be a certain way.
Right.
Or
for other people.
For other people. That's their beauty. That's their perfection. So false reality around beauty. So one false reality around beauty, and this is what we talked about before we got on air, was the physical, like having to be physically perfect. So what is your concept of what you think beauty stands for, like having people to be, that physical perfection, like you have to look a certain way?
Like you have to be a certain size or a certain weight, or you have to have a certain color hair, or you have to have the biggest lips or the biggest ass with the biggest tits and the skinniest waist. I think there's all these ideas that women are supposed to fit into this box, when in reality no one really fits in that box. I mean, Barbie's measurements aren't even a real size. I mean, unless you get plastic, unless you make yourself that way.
Yeah.
But I think, like, just for me in the last, I don't know, few weeks since I've gotten fibroblast, I was kind of forced to not wear makeup and do things that I'm not used to. And then for me, realized that I was hiding behind a face, hiding behind makeup, thinking I had to go places and I needed to have makeup on to look good or to be who I was. And then by having to go out in public and still do these things, even though I was getting the skin treatment, it forced me to realize that I actually don't need these things. I don't need to have makeup all the time. And then it made me want to not wear makeup even more because I realized I was hiding hiding behind it.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not saying don't wear makeup, not do these things that make you feel good, but what I'm saying is don't rely on those things to feel beautiful.
My honest opinion, and Kevin, my other half, we had this actually huge discussion on this because I don't wear a lot of makeup.
Yeah.
I don't like to wear a lot of face makeup. And a lot of times I get people in my clinic that wear really heavy makeup. And I know that's kind of the trend now. Like people, they wear that thick coat of makeup on their skin. But honestly, it's really damaging your skin. It's causing a lot of acne, a lot of cystic acne now, a lot of like scarring in people. And honestly, men love no makeup.
I've noticed that.
All of these, and I'm not talking bad, so don't give me hate mail, but all these dramatic lashes and these eyebrows that are like crazy, honestly, men do not like them. It looks insane. And if you have natural lashes, like a little bit, that's great, but it's like these bobblehead lashes with this makeup and these eyebrows, and
I think it's just getting insane is what
it's good if you're
much.
Going out or if you're going to like, you know what I mean? Like a dinner or dressing up, but it's like everyday makeup for people. Yeah. And I don't know. I just look at that and I think, girlfriend, you're beautiful without that shit on your face. Like,
right.
Be you, be authentic. Don't hide behind all of that. Maybe it's because I do skin and I see how much people look. I feel like they look younger and they look more beautiful without that stuff.
I agree.
A great coat of mascara, huge, goes a long way. With a little bit of lipstick, you look hot. But I just think beauty stems from you actually being authentic, being yourself, owning your shit. I don't like to dress up. I like to wear sweatpants and fucking Uggs half the time. And that's just who I am.
Right. And you're beautiful
and,
exactly like that.
When you meet me, I might burp and say, hey, how you doing? I might fart and say, excuse me. But it's beauty, I guess, right?
I think someone would say otherwise, but not me.
Yeah, Kevin might say no. He's like, man, your ass fucking stinks. But so we went through the physical realm. So I personally think that women today, and I hear this all the time, and I'm so guilty of it. It's like, I'm fat, I have this, I want to look this certain way, but we don't have the mindset to get ourselves to that point. And honestly, it's just about being healthy. And it's about, I don't want to say like physically fit. You don't have to be physically fit, but you have to be healthy.
Right.
And it's that teeter point now that it's just having a healthier mindset, meaning you don't have to have the abs, but you don't need to go out and eat freaking In-N-Out burger every single day,
Right.
like, or have your lattes every single day. It's that balance of being healthy inside and out. And I think it's totally different, but that's physical. So I know that we always talked about what is beauty about always having your shit together. And I'm an anal person. Like, I'm super fucking, like, my shit is put away. I'm organized. I have this going on, except for podcasts and for doing photo shoots. I'm like, hey, what are you doing today? You want to get together? Like, for my clients or anything else, like, I'm super anal. Like, I like to have my shit together. But I know a lot of times we all don't have our shit together. So, in your aspect, what do you feel like beauty is with like having your shit together? What's your idealism behind that? Is that a trick question?
Yeah, I'm like, can you elaborate? Like, what is that?
So, when we sat down and we thought, okay, what the fuck is beauty? Right? So, we went over our physical attributes, or our second one is always having our shit together, meaning, do you think beauty is like owning having your shit together? Like, for instance, I have an issue about having people take care of me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an issue that I have to get over. And I've really gotten over it this year with asking for help. Because as my mom raising me as a single mom, I always felt, and then raising my son pretty much as a single mom, you know, I was married in between those times, but I always felt like I had to handle my own shit. I had to do it myself. And to me, I think that's a fucking turn on when a woman can take care of herself,
right,
and not have to rely on other things. But then on the other essence, when you get that right person in your life, it's a turnoff because they typically want to help you and take care of you. And I know that I deal with this personally, and my personal relationship is I have someone who wants to help me and do these things, and I'm like, nah, I don't need your fucking help. And it's a turnoff. And so it's about, maybe I kind of went around what is beauty with what we were trying to talk about. But to me, I guess it's about finding that balance in life of asking for help and not asking for help, and what you should be carrying on your own and what you shouldn't be carrying on your own.
We all deal with that. Like, I mean, some days I think I don't have my shit together at all. And then some days, like, oh, I'm a badass today.
Yeah.
I think that's just everyone's thing. But with what you're talking about, I think I'm the first person to call and ask for help for most things. When I feel like I can't do something, I know somebody that does.
Yeah.
Or I have the opposite problem. I think I'm not afraid to.
Yeah, to ask for that, which I think is a great thing. And I think that's why you're in my life and I'm in your life. Right. And, you know, we have great girlfriends that, you know, that are very similar to me as well, that don't call people out for help, and, you know, we should be. So I guess the next one that I kind of wanted to brush over would be perfection. So what the fuck is beauty for you for perfection? And I know perfection, I personally see this a lot more on social media with people faking their shit, that they're perfect. And I feel like, you know, I post really great pictures sometimes on my social media, but I feel like I try to also post like, I'm not perfect, I am fucked up, I do stupid shit. What's your idealism?
I agree with you. I think that there's this stigma in society on social media and everything that is constantly being thrown at us, that in order to be beautiful or to be successful or whatever, that we have to be perfect. Everything has to be perfect all the time. Like, for example, the Kardashians, you always makeup, always put together, always hair done, have the perfect poses. And I think that's not translated, but I think that's affecting other people who have Instagram as well, that, you know, having to always look great and always look like you're the best. And I don't think that's reality, and I don't think it's real. And I've just started with had my own issues with perfection, not just in having to look perfect, but having to perform perfect. And that's something that just in this year I've kind of broken down and gotten comfortable being uncomfortable with that. And, you know, posting pictures without makeup on social media or those kinds of things. I think there's a huge stigma with it, especially on Instagram, that you're right, that all this false reality, that these things aren't. I really like when people show, like, this is what this picture was. Yeah. This is what it actually looks like when I'm not sucking it in, turning to the side, sticking my ass out, putting my hand here, and then covering it, you know. And then just for me as a photographer and using Photoshop, it's really easy for me to spot things that aren't necessarily real or not. And even doing that, I don't like to use Photoshop in that way as well. Like, I don't like to fix people to make them perfect. I'd rather, let's show your imperfections because you're already perfectly imperfect.
Yeah. So I think that we did this on the last podcast, and it was about people maybe going off social media a little bit and taking an hour in the morning. And I think I said, to take a break. But I think that we should throw in like a 30-day challenge to everybody. And the 30-day challenge needs to be posting an imperfection of yourself and tagging like hashtag WTF is beauty anyway. And posting an imperfection. I mean, posting a picture that's imperfect or something you feel, or if you're having a bad fucking day. I mean, actually posting something that's just your imperfection. And I would be totally ecstatic just to see what people post.
I think people might find liberation.
Yes, I agree. So I think we probably have to get the revolution started on that. But I think that would be great, and I know you touched over the Kardashians. And the thing is that if you guys don't realize that the Kardashians are like 10 times more fucked up than we are, then you have issues. Because honestly, what was it? They didn't know what a fucking Walmart was, I think.
Well, there's that, but I'm not even talking on that. I'm just like the whole fact that they don't want to talk about what's real and what's not on their bodies, things they've changed.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm going down the road that I probably shouldn't be. I'm like, nobody is fucking perfect.
Nope. Just me. No, I'm just kidding. That'd be a cool thing to see, and I think a lot more people. It's scary, and that's part of what being vulnerable is. And once you get used to being, I don't know if you can get used to being vulnerable, but once
I think you can
break through to allowing yourself to get comfortable in that, you find freedom in that and beauty in places you didn't think you would, and things within your own self.
But it's true. It's like my estheticians in my clinic, right? A lot of times they're quiet, and here I'm a little bit more boisterous. But the thing is that I was just like that before. And I think through all the turmoil that I've went through, and now that I'm in my 40s, I'm kind of to the point to where I really couldn't give a fuck anymore. And I don't mean that bad, but because I always go over and beyond for everybody. Like, I want everybody to be happy. That's my vice. Right. I do too much for people. But then on the other hand, it's like, I'm not going to be fake anymore of who I am. And you'd be amazed, like half of my clients are older, super conservative. And here I am with tattoos, say the F word, do whatever. But we laugh hysterical in the room and we have a great time. And I change their skin and I help them. And I feel like just even friends like you and I, like we open up and we talk more and we're vulnerable. And the thing is that people gravitate towards that.
Right.
So what I was trying to say with my girls is that they're very quiet and they don't talk. And I always try to tell them, be yourself. Because honestly, if you are confident within yourself and you say things that you might think, oh, person might get upset that I just use this word, I might offend them. Most likely, they're going to laugh. Right. And love you like 10 times more because you're totally being yourself and honest and upfront.
Right. And you're allowing them to be the space to do the same.
Exactly.
And I think that's what is contagious. And,
yes.
And that's what people like.
They don't have to be fake.
Right. And they're breaking down walls. They don't have to live up to something that whether they've created themselves.
Yeah. Like my mom, for instance, I love her to death. But she is definitely have always been the super conservative type, just, and I shouldn't say conservative. She lets her guards down. She drinks. They have a great time. But when she meets people, she really wants to give us this persona of who she is and where she is and how hard she's worked and what she has. And that's okay. That's beautiful. That's her being. But like yesterday on my social media, I have her give a tour of her house, which is a gorgeous house, by the way, like gorgeous. She's worked her ass off to get that place. But going through it, she was like, this is my family room. And I made a comment and I was like, yeah, this is where they fornicate on the couch, right? And she's like,
lost her shit.
Right? No, she didn't. She was really good. Like, I was super proud of her because she was like, yes, see, that's why that pillow is messed up. And I'm like, you go, Mom. Like, finally letting go and letting
Yeah.
loose. And I think that's what it is. I think people
They're
think
afraid.
that they have to be this certain way. And
I think it's a fear-based thing of not fitting in, of not
yeah,
living up to the status quo,
yeah, I agree.
of not
Yeah.
being perfect.
And honestly, like, Harley knows me really well, and I'm fit. I eat really healthy. When I'm down and I'm training and I'm gearing down for a show, like, I am 100%. But when I'm not in, let me tell you, I fuck up royally. Like, I will eat until I am, like, nauseous sick from eating fucking cookies and chocolate and this. Like, we're human.
Yeah.
And we're not perfect. And it's life. And I'm really, really tired of people saying, "Oh, look at my beautiful life, and look at my yacht, and look at the sunset, and look at this." And you don't realize how much and how hard of work they had to work in order to get to that point.
Well, and it's not even about those things.
It's not.
To me, I'd rather hang out with the person who, is going to be just real, and it's all about living in the moment and connection with somebody.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, sitting in a closet on the floor.
That's what we're doing right now.
I'd rather do that. I mean, if you had a yacht, I'd be on your yacht. But it doesn't matter. It's not something I'm like desired to be focused on, or it's just a thing.
Yeah.
And so I think that's also another thing that's beautiful too, is being able to have friendships with people that are real.
Yeah.
And not the superficial, because I'm so over that shit.
Yeah. No, not at all. So, random question.
Yeah.
When you're taking video, like you just did this bourgeois photo shoot with a bunch of girls, and I thought it was like sexy. And the sexiness isn't even that they would be like, I don't want to say this. How can I say this like tactfully? Is that they're not the women that you would normally see doing a boudoir. Do you know what I mean?
Like a model?
Yeah. Like all the women.
Mm-hmm.
But they looked fucking hot.
They are hot.
But that's what I'm saying. It's that, so what do you feel like when you get people and you get to photo them?
Boudoir especially is my favorite, because to me it's more about the process of photography and not necessarily just the final outcome of images, but the process of, to be photographed is extremely vulnerable. And to do that without clothes on is only 10 times more scary. But it happens all the time, and it's one of my favorite things is that through the process, these women, you start to feel comfortable and sexy and feel beautiful in your own skin, and there's a switch. There's a confidence that happens. And when that switch happens, that's liberation. That's being freed and being allowed to be who you are in a space. Whether that's with clothes on or not, it's the same thing. And so I think once you feel beautiful, they look beautiful because it's energy. They're just translating how they feel.
Yeah.
And then I capture it, see it. And so together we create images that are awesome.
Yeah, no, they looked awesome. So before we end, is there anything that you want to touch over that you feel like, because I know my podcast goes over a variety of things, because it's really what the fuck is beauty, and it's a variety of everything. I mean, I do skincare to nutrition to diet to mindset. To you, what do you feel like is beauty?
Beauty is a lot of things, but I think it's really someone who isn't afraid to live in their authenticity, or when you catch a glimpse of it in somebody, if somebody's really afraid to be who they are, but at some point you will see a glimpse of whether it's them laughing at something silly, or I also think vulnerability is beautiful. Like when a man allows you to see him cry, like for some reason in this society, if you cry, you're that as, I guess, a wimp. But
really
like if a man allows you
I
to see
really
that,
like
that's
someone
beautiful.
just to grab my hair and
shut up. But like that's beautiful, Just really people living authentically, I think, is really beautiful, and allowing people to see them in a raw state, or just being who they are, really.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you some homework.
Okay.
Because I know you're really good at it. And you've been doing it already. So I have been doing Carly's skin here. Well, I've been doing her skin for a long time, but this year we've definitely like really dove in deep, and we've done a lot of like some fibroblast treatments, some green peels, some actual chemical peels, and she has definitely opened up and been very vulnerable and showing those pictures on social media, which I am really happy for, because it's gotten a lot of people, you know, intrigued in what I do on top of it. And really, it's a series. It's get clients that come in all the time and they're like, well, I just want to peel. I want my skin to look like that. Well, Carly's one to say, like, she's coming in like every week for treatments to get her skin to a certain point. So it takes time. But I think we should try or start a challenge. And I think that maybe you can start the challenge of posting, you know, some photos like you have been, but challenging women to post photos.
Okay.
Like, do a what the fuck is beauty challenge.
Okay.
And that you tag someone and someone has to write like what the fuck is beauty to them and what it means with like a picture of them being vulnerable.
Okay.
And then they have to tag somebody else and then get that going. I think that would be really good, especially a really good empowerment.
Yeah.
To make people understand what beauty is to them. Yeah. And then
get comfortable being. That's my big thing lately, is get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yes.
Because then it's actually, once you're comfortable, then find something else to
be uncomfortable about. I know.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's what we're going to do this week. So stay tuned, you guys. But anyway, thanks, Carly, for hanging with me in my closet.
I'll hang out with you anywhere.
All right, you guys. Thanks for tuning in this week. I hope you feel more empowered and more inspired to love the skin you're in. As we navigate new society norms and beauty daily, make sure to always ask yourself, what the fuck is beauty to me? And know that's all that matters. If you love this content today, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review. Follow me and get more info on my guests at viragostudio.com. Yes, I said it, viragostudio.com. And that's the shit. See you on the next episode, beauties.